Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is James, thank you for coming along and welcome back to the Soundline. So today what I have for you is actually a really cool video. We have behind me here, in these three boxes, we have a brand new Grand Prix audio, or Grand Prix audio if you want to pronounce it all. Grand Prix audio Silverstone trio rack system that we're going to be setting up for our hi-fi room. This is our music room where we keep all our speakers, our power amp. It's a bit of a mess at the moment because we've made a serious amount of space in here so that we can work on the floor and get it all assembled. So this video is going to be assembling the Grand Prix audio trio, and then we're going to do another video also kind of talking a bit more about Grand Prix and how their racks work, how their designs really actually make your system sound better, because that's the ultimate goal here. If you're spending good money on a good hi-fi stereo rack, you want it to make your sound better. So these are the three boxes that we have here. This is how they came shipped. I have already unscrewed the lids off and we've just checked everything is all good inside them. So we will just lift the lids off and show you guys that very shortly. But yeah, you've got this one here which has the main legs in it. Square one with the clear shelves, which you'll see later on. And another square one with the cross members and all of the mounting hardware and all of that kind of stuff. So this model that we're setting up today is the second to top model, I believe. This is the, well, you could say that it's the Silverstone Clear. There is a model above that called the Silverstone F1, which goes from being clear acrylic shelves to carbon composite shelves and cross members. But we're just going to do this one today. There is also the Silverstone Quattro, which, as opposed to being a tri-leg system, is a four-leg system. And we'll talk a little bit about that maybe in one of our other videos, but for today, this is just going to be unboxing and showing you how to kind of set up this rack, get it all situated, get the shelves at the right height and everything tight and assembled. And also I should say right at the beginning of this video, this is a two-person job. So I do have Terry, my boss, helping me assemble this, or I'll be helping him. And I'm kind of, as you can tell, in charge of the camera as well. So there may be times when I'll have to put the camera down or set it up and then give him a hand manhandling things into place or lifting them up, because they are very heavy. These boxes are so heavy, it's insane. So I'm going to do my best to film it and give as much detail as I can, because I realize there is not much on the internet at the moment about how to put these together. So I'll do my best, but yeah, that's what we've got coming up for you today. So we're just going to kind of use this whole area. We're going to use this carpet here as kind of our assembly point, because it's nice and squishy and less likely to scratch anything, because this is very, good quality, delicate equipment that you don't really want to scratch or scuff or anything like that. And then ultimately, its final resting place or home is going to be over in this corner here, where we have speaker wires, power outlets, and our power amp interconnects run all the way around to here. So this is where it's going to live. Let's start the unboxing. Okay, so this is Terry. He's the boss here. He's my employer and he knows a hell of a lot about home audio. How long have you been doing this now?
Nearly 30 years.
Nearly 30 years. I won't ask how old you are. So what we're going to do is we'll just start by sort of unboxing these. I've explained that those there are the shelves, so we'll unbox that a little bit later, because they're really the last thing to kind of get assembled. So we'll start, I think, by getting the legs and the hardware out and talking a little bit about what each parts are. We'll set it all out so we know what we're doing, and then we'll start to build it.
Great. Yep.
All right, cool. So
okay.
We'll just set the lids out of the way somewhere. Okay. If we can get the boxes out of the way, that'll be good. So this one here, we've got our three legs. This is the heaviest box. Do you know what is in these, Terry?
So these are the three columns that will support the shelves. The shelves will end up being suspended off these. These are made out of aircraft grade aluminium. They are very heavy.
Are they hollow?
No, they're solid.
Okay, so they're solid aluminium, that's why they're heavy.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of, what do you call that, loose sandy stuff?
No, there's not.
Isn't it?
I don't believe it.
What's that sound it made?
Yeah, there's nothing in there. I don't think there is. If you take, that's the base. This one here is the top end.
Okay.
I don't believe there's anything in there that tips out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should take the covers off. Oh, cool. Nice chrome tip. So that's the top.
No, that's the bottom.
That's the bottom because that's the thread in there.
Yeah.
For the stands. Okay, so we've got those out. We could probably, if we take these off, we'll just sort of, if we tidy up as we go, I think, you know, put it all back in the box and get the boxes out of the way. Alright, cool. So that's those. Now this box here has got the cross members, which are these big triangle bits. They're kind of what hold the three legs together, keep it structurally sound. Then we've got 4 boxes of hardware. They look like they're also made of the aluminium.
Yes, they are. And that's the model number and the serial number
Okay,
of the
cool.
rack.
Where does... is that
These are all handmade. They take a fair number of hours to actually build these things. That will actually... Okay.
And now we've got the hardware. So these two here. Okay, so this here has got...
Those are the hangers.
Yeah, the hangers. So these bolt onto the columns. And then you've got the suspension system there.
That's right.
This here has got some... That's got your spikes, if you're standing it on spikes, as well as a cleaning rag, fluid, and some white gloves for assembling it with clean hands, which we will be doing.
And of course the tools required, and the bolts for fastening the hangers to the rack.
Nice.
Which is required for the suspension system. So these are the shock absorbers for the shelves. So these here will click in. Once these are slid into the rack, this here will sit on there and the shelf will sit in there, and this is actually, you'll see this has got the give in it, which we'll explain later on when the system's actually put together. Okay. And then in here is an optional extra. These are the brand new Apex XL, which is substantially bigger than the previous Apex. So these are done to be as an XL form now to be more effective in isolation, and they also, because they're larger, they look the part underneath the Silverstone racks. So these are carbon fibre outer shell composite with some dampening inside, and they are a very, very effective dampening tool. They can be used under racks, speakers, and actual hi-fi components. And we'll show you in more detail once the rack is set up how the nitrate ball sits in there, and then there's a leveler that goes on and creates a suspension system with the rack.
Sweet. And that's what's in that box as well, because there's one in this box, 2 in that box, just because they're so big they're in separate boxes.
Yep.
So we'll have them aside, and they're one of the last things we do, aren't we? Because we set the stand down onto them.
Yeah. We may show, for the purpose of this video, we may show the rack with the spikes.
Okay.
And then we'll do a comparison between the spikes and the Apex.
Okay.
Cross member support, and so you see that will click on there, and this one will go on top of there, and obviously one more will go there, and then these 2 smaller ones are for the cross members, so we position that down this way, and then obviously that gives us maximum amount of available space for the components. And this one here will go up towards the top for the turntable or CD player, and there's a cross member support there.
Got it.
Okay, so that cross member support can go towards the top, so it's out of the way. I'm just going to put, what I'm going to do here, just from experience, I'm just going to quickly put these in a temporary position, just to make it easier to move them once we start putting this up. Standing it up. So we want to get a cross member.
The bottom one, which is this one here.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Just slide that in like that. Check it's lined up with the bolt holes. It's pretty good. Could go a wee bit that way. Okay.
Put the top one of that. We're doing these up finger tight at the moment. They'll need some adjustment once we put the other introduce the other columns to it, and then we have to make sure it's all level. So
roll that down onto its side.
Yep.
You got it?
That's right.
Okay,
Actually,
cool.
we can roll it this
If we
way.
roll it this way, just get these gloves out of the way.
And then we'll add this one to it. Turn this round.
Sorry, I'm
This is just the right angle, so that's nice and square.
yeah, that's what we want.
You can tell it's
Yeah,
nice and loose. There's a bigger gap at the bottom of that one, so it might need to... Okay.
We can do the next cross brace next?
Yes,
or,
we do.
Or the third column?
No, we do the cross brace.
Okay, get those out of the way. Out of the way with that.
Just put it in the middle for now.
Okay.
Oh, actually, maybe not, because we might not be able to get it out so easy once we've got the other cross brace in.
So we didn't say this before, guys, but the way these are orientated, you want to have, if I can get this to focus, you want to be able to see the hex head at the top. Because on the bottom, you'll see there's threads here. So if you're seeing the threads, that's definitely the bottom side. And the hex head sockets where the Allen key would go, that's the top. And I don't think, from memory, is there a back? That's the back there, because that's the longer one. You kind of, it's not noted, so you kind of have to just use your eyes and be smart, and you realise if you look that this here is shorter than that. That back section there, going to there.
And the thread's up.
Wait, there's a bolt in that one.
Yep, and there's a bolt in this one
So I
too.
need to take those out first. Okay, so now, if I just guide that in there, then you, yep, there you go. Now if we bring this to, cool. Should we do your side first? About there, it's lined up. Some more bolts somewhere. Oh, there's one there. Okay.
Okay, now, one thing we need to take in consideration is that when this hanger goes on, if we get a...
Yeah, because this has to hang all the way down there.
I like to actually do it this way first, because when we're actually going to tip the whole thing up, I want the
Thing to be strong.
I want this to be at the kind of like the utmost extremities if possible.
Yeah. And then we can
and then we
lower
can adjust
it down a
it.
wee
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. We can lower it down. But while we're here, we might as well.
If I get another one of these, we can put this one here at the top. Should we maybe put the next three in that column before we set it on top?
Yes, we can do. Yeah. Alvin always gives you plenty of bolts.
Okay, that's all of those, and then we obviously need 2, 4 for the, which means he has given us 6 spare bolts. Alright, so now we're going to lift this up and gently set it down on top of these 2 slots here.
Yeah, I think last time I did this,
Cool, so now we're going to lift this one up, gently set it down onto here. We've got all of the hangers finger tight situated. Where we think they'll go, we can tighten that one up a wee bit if we want. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we just tighten that one up a bit, James.
Oh yeah, cool. So that one. Did we measure that? Oh, let's get the thing. There we go.
I think you measured it earlier.
So we can actually bring it up a wee bit if we want, because they want this to be right under here.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that this is gonna compress a little bit.
Okay.
You got this shelf and things, so just leave it there for now.
Okay, so now we've got the main sort of frame built and assembled together. Screws are all at this point finger tight, although we have done up the cross member bolts, I'd say just a little bit tighter to hold it in its place. I think now we want to rock it up onto its feet, or do we want to put some spikes in it? Or
so you see what these little holes are in here for the top, James, is if you want to, at a later stage, because audiophiles have been known to change their mind from time to time and change the configuration of their system, you can actually pop this out, and this allows you to drop another one of those spaces for the hanger to drop in, so you can add or subtract shelves.
okay.
So you don't have to pull the whole rack apart.
Oh, I see. Another sliding slot.
That's right. So if you want it, if we undid that and pop that hole out, then we can put another one of those sliders in.
These Silverstone ones aren't stackable, are they? Like the
No.
Monacos.
Yeah,
So once you decide on your height of your rails, that's what you've got.
correct. So did we show people earlier the slider in here?
Yes, we did. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that slider in there,
Yeah.
obviously, for the hanger. So that's how you get access into there. There is a bit of getting it past the upright brace is interesting, but there is actually a way to actually do that.
Oh, without having to take it apart.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I added the an extra shelf to mine quite successfully
Okay.
without too much drama.
Sweet. Right guys, so what we've done now is we've gotten these two cross members completely tightened and aligned. So we have this one here completely bottomed out on the bottom foot of it. So all three of these are bottomed out, and then what we've done is use the tape measure to measure from this side of this one here to this side of this one here, exactly 73 centimeters on all three of them. So we know that they are all square and tightened up all of the Allen keys. And we have checked as we were doing that, that above this one here there is enough room for the shelf to hang on its damper, and same goes for the bottom one, and then the middle one we will be able to adjust once we've got it upright and built. So the next step at this point is to do your feet, either spikes or apex feet as they were called. We're not going to do the spikes, but I'm just going to show you how they would work so that if you are doing them you can basically see how that works. So these very simply just thread into here. Now what you want to do for calibration of these is you start with the locking nut all the way this way towards the bottom of the spike or the tip, and then you thread these all the way in, because once you've got it upright you can then start measuring using a spirit level to check the level in both directions of the top of your shelf, and then you can thread these out to adjust for that. And that's how you start, by you measure this one first essentially, so you get that that shelf there perfectly level by adjusting all of these feet, and once you've got it perfect you tighten down those locking nuts, and then after that there is a bit more adjustment you can do to do the upper shelves, i.e. like you move these the hangers up and down to get them more level. So basically, yeah, the key is get this level first with the feet, and then you adjust the hangers after that. But since we're not doing the spikes, we'll take them back out, and we're going to do the apex feet because they, as Terry says, are significantly better. And it does come with the little wrench, so you can tighten them up. It has this little hole. It has this little hole in the side of the spike here. Okay, so yeah, so this hole in the spike here, it comes with this little dowel pin, which is just a little rod of metal, and you can use that for very fine adjustment of this spike. So you can just, like a wrench, you can turn it like that and thread this in a tiny amount to get micro adjustment of level on that bottom shelf. And that's what that's for. And then you use the wrench to tighten up your locking nut, and then check again to make sure that tightening up the locking nut hasn't adjusted the level. So that's them. But we're going to do the apex feet now.
So the apex come in two parts. So we will need to find the levelers, and because we already had a set of the older apexes which have levelers.
So these didn't come in the box, did they?
So these, we already owned a set of apexes.
Okay.
So we had the levelers in the box with the previous apexes. So if we show people the old apex that we had, that we used to use under the Monaco racks. So that's the old apex, or the smaller one with the silicon nitrate ball. Now we have the new one.
So that's the new one there.
And that's a beast. Yeah. So we're going to use the levelers. So when you order these racks, if you're going to use apex feet underneath them, you actually need to make sure you order the required number of levelers. So you can buy a 4-column version of this. So obviously you need to buy 4 levelers if you intend to use apexes. Again, as James said earlier, we'll just wind that in with the nut down most of the way up.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Okay, we're pretty close. Right, we can put the apexes will go on underneath once the rack is in position.
Yep.
So it's time to muscle.
Yep, and move it into spot.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we're just going to rock it, or we're going to try and lift and sit?
Oh no, we're going to try and lift it.
Okay. I think we'll probably just lift like this. Oh yeah, that works. So we've got our wee nitrate ball, which just drops in there, in each of them.
Okay, and then we're going to require some muscle.
I'm just going to set the camera down. There. Now I move this on. Okay, down. Done. That's 1. Up and down. 3. Okay. Now they're sitting on there, and yeah, that'll slide nice and easily, so we can reposition it a bit better if we want. Okay guys, so now we're going to get the level of this rack right. So we're starting on the bottom cross member at the front, and so we will look at this level and adjust the height of these levelers with this little dowel pin, which will basically thread in and unthread the levelers. And once we've got it exactly right, the wrench will tighten up the lock nut. So Terry's just doing that now.
And that's pretty much all bang on there.
What do you guys think? Okay, so if we've got that on,
And we want to check the front to back. You might need that
so
one there, James.
so the back is going to need to go up a wee bit. So, I don't know if you guys can see, but in here there's just a little hole which that goes in. And now because we want to raise it up, I want to twist it clockwise. And I just slowly watch the bubble become more centered. That looks pretty good to me. Perfect. Now we'll just move that over to this side just to double check it.
Okay.
Cool, I think we're happy, so now we
we'll
need
just
to
check the
check the front again.
yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yep.
Okay, so now we tighten up all the lock nuts, but then we do need to check it again just to make sure that tightening the lock nuts hasn't adjusted anything. Just hold that in there to make sure I don't feel that turn at all. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's turning it a lot, Terry.
Yeah. That's okay.
I think that did like a whole half turn. There we go. Better just check the back to front calibration again. Yep, happy with that.
Yep. I'm good with that.
Okay, cool. So we're happy now that we have our cross members, or at least our bottom one and our top one should be, if we've done our measuring right, should be dead level as well.
That's pretty close, but maybe we'll give it a... oh, geez, that's very close, isn't it? This is a tiny little of adjustment.
Can make it if we want.
It's pretty good that way. I just think this way it needs to go. Yeah, it needs to go up a little bit on this side.
Okay.
But it's only in that whisker.
Okay. The reason we want to do that, guys, is just to make sure, even though this isn't actually going to be supporting anything level at all, they all hang off these. The reason you want to make sure that all of this is dead level is so that we know that this plane here and these are perfectly perpendicular. It's all perfectly
structural
square.
integrity of the whole unit.
Exactly, it makes the whole thing much more structurally sound if you know it's perfectly squared. Do you want me to, if I use my hand to lift it up and down, and then you can tighten it up?
Can you put it back? I'll just moved slightly. Just wanna, yeah, just need to go a fraction.
Okay guys, so we got that top shelf adjusted, just a tiny tad over on that corner and a little bit on this one as well. So now this top shelf as well as the bottom one is perfectly level. And now what we're doing is we're just going through all 12 bolts that are holding these cross members in, just making sure they're all completely tightened up so that it's going to stay there for a good long time. Okay, so that's all good and done. Take the level away now. Next is setting up the shelves, or do we want to get our hangers at the exact right heights first? Or do it once we've got the shelves on?
Well, we can do it once the shelf is on, because we have to allow for some compression.
Yeah.
So we'll grab the first shelf, which will require the white glove treatment.
Okay guys, so getting these shelves in can be a wee bit fiddly, but you just want to go real slowly with your white gloves and two people to make sure you don't scuff them or mark them at all. What you actually need to do is start with this hanger up higher than what it's going to be in the end. And then
Get that up, bring that up.
Bring this up, careful, don't, and then you can get it under the two front ones while someone puts the supports through and hangs them. One. Two. Okay, and now I can get my one. Put the support through. Get it past there very carefully. Bring it down like that, and now have your Allen key ready here. Loosen off that, and then lower it down like so till it's around about level, and then pretty soon we will. Do you want to use a plastic one so you don't scuff it at all?
No, it's fine as it is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's not going anywhere.
All right, so because these are adjustable as well, Terry, so we should
Yes, but you adjust this.
mainly. Well, do we
Mainly
want
adjust
to zero those first? those extensions. Because
They are zeroed, aren't they?
No, they're not. Because this one, as you can see, is much shorter than the other ones. If you go like this, they twist, tighten up, see?
Yeah, okay.
So should we zero them to shortest fall?
Does it say to zero them?
I don't know what it wants them to be set at to begin with.
To adjust overall shelf height, loosen an individual hanger bracket and slide up and down as needed. Repeat for the other two corners. Use a level on the carving structure to get it close. It does need to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. We will final leveling via the hanger links later.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I've got those all zeroed at the shortest thing now. Yeah. So now we can adjust it as best we can by lifting up and down the hangers. Mm-hmm. And then once we've got them tightened, then we can adjust these links.
You can see this one here is really pissed.
Yeah.
Like at this end here, I would say the hanger needs to go down because he says, he's basically saying it doesn't need to be perfect, but it still needs to be down. So
yeah,
you would get it. You can see at the moment that the one on the right hand side is way down. The other thing, James, is you probably don't want to be winding all the thread out. So if you come back here and have a quick look, and look at that right hand one, the one closest to you, there's a massive gap between the cross section and that. So I reckon we need to drop that right hand one first, another 5 or 10 mils. Right?
Is this one higher than that?
No, it's lower.
Right.
But then we'll base the other ones off there, because otherwise we're losing shelf height.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So you want this one here, when the shelf was on, right, so this has got all the weight, that's going to compress slightly, but you see how there's a massive gap here?
Yeah.
This can come down. So the way to
no, so we want to lose them.
We want to lose that one and then level these two up with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I've already lowered this one a wee bit.
Yeah. So lower this one first, get that one the right height.
I might just get you to put your hand under there to stop it from coming down, in case it decides to slide.
Yeah, it won't go very far.
I think it's a bit looser now, so okay.
Yeah, well, I reckon that's probably enough.
Tighten that.
Yeah.
Tighten that. Pulling one side down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like the hole hasn't been quite... There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, so now if you do that side, I reckon, next, get the crossways square first, and then we can do back to front. Probably about there. Tighten that up.
How does that look if you look at it eye level from the front?
Okay, so now we've got the two front hangers, got that level and nice and tight, and now we just need to get the back one level, and it's a little bit high at the back, so we can loosen this off. First Terry needs to do that.
I'll make sure this is actually sitting in right. As you say, it's kind of a bit...
Yeah, it just takes a few tries to get it to go in square. Actually, sometimes rotating it helps.
That's what I'm doing.
There you go.
There you go.
This one. I might do this as well.
Is that actually level still? I've done that.
It's in properly. Right, now the back to front level. Oh, I'm pretty good. Just loosen this down a wee bit. Just tighten that up. Tighten up the bottom one. Okay, so now that we've got that down, what we can do if we need to is this section here and here are separate and it's threaded into one another, so we can actually twist these and adjust it to make each link slightly longer for even finer adjustment. So it looks like this section here needs to go down a wee bit more because it's a bit high on this side here to extend out just a wee bit. There we go. That looks pretty level to me.
A bit more. That's it.
Okay, now we can do the back as well. So it's too high, so it does need to go down. This is in the way. There we go. I'm happy with that. You happy with that? Yep. Okay, cool. So now that shelf is perfectly level. We're just going to do it for 2 more shelves.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. If you guys are using this as a tutorial for doing this at home, if you guys have purchased your own rack and you're setting this up, make sure that these little rubber sections here are sitting square all the way through the shelf, because we noticed we just had a little bit of trouble getting the rubber to come through evenly around all sides of that hole, and it just took a little bit of twisting and re-lifting and lowering again to make that pop through square. And there we go. I'll just show you this real quickly, as you can see, if I can get it to focus. So this is what I was talking about, the telescopic thing. So you see how there are 2 sections there, and that upper section spins and threads in and out you can make it longer and shorter. And that's how we do the fine adjustment. So that's one shelf, 2 more to go. I might film this and I'll just speed it up into a bit of a time lapse, and then we'll see it when it's pretty much finished. Okay, there we go guys, we got it all assembled completely. Everything is calibrated, it is level on all the shelves, all of the cross beams. You may have noticed in the time lapse there that we actually ended up taking the top shelf on and off a couple times. That's because we just wanted to get this shelf here nice and close to the underside of these hangers here, because that way we can have more air space and shelf space on this one. And we just wanted to maximize that as best we can. And each time you move this, you have to make sure that this is perfectly level and square each time. So it just took a little bit extra, but it's worth it. We've been very, very precise with setting this up, because we know that going forward down the track, we're probably not going to spend a whole heap of time recalibrating this every time we put new equipment on it. So we're trying to just be extra precise this first time. So we've got a good, decent amount of space here. Where's my tape measure? We've got heaps of space in this bottom shelf for a big power amp. Looks like we've got around about sort of 42 odd centimeters. Actually, yeah, 42 centimeters, and then we've got around about 220 on this middle shelf, which will be for preamps or something like that, or a CD player. And then obviously the top shelf will be for a record player of some kind. So that's pretty much completely assembled now. There, we moved it again. We decided we wanted a little bit more even gap between the two, so we've moved it back down and recalibrated it again. Okay, there we go guys. The room is completely back together. We just had to skip ahead and get some stuff done, because we actually have a demo in this room coming up very shortly, so we had to get it back into working condition. But anyway, here are our 3 Grand Prix audio racks that we have. Obviously the Silverstone Trio in the middle, Silverstone Trio Clear. We've got the Monaco on the right, which has up until now been our best rack. We've also got the wood finish Grand Prix audio as well. And that's not going to end up living there, it's probably going to end up over on this side for our smaller systems when we do basic demos. But what we're doing just for now is we're having all 3 next to each other, because in a video that I will film very shortly, hopefully tomorrow, myself and Terry, well, I'll get Terry to talk about the differences between the 2 different racks and how they affect the sound of your system. And we'll also try listening to a system on all 3 racks by simply starting off with an integrated amp and a source like a record player on here, move it to the next one up, and then move it to the top level one, and see what kind of sound differences we hear. So that'll be very interesting tomorrow. And once we've done that, we'll put this all back to how it was with our, our VPI turntable and our Antipodes and our Accuphase equipment. So thank you for watching this video guys. I hope this has been helpful for you if you're trying to set up one of these racks, or at the very least interesting. Give the video a thumbs up if you thought it was good. Thanks for watching, let the music play, and I'll catch you in my next video. Ka kite anō.